With a career spanning 23 years to date, it certainly has been an emotional rollercoaster ride, both professionally and personally, for Lee Sutton. Caught up with Lee to reflect on his career so far. Lee, good to finally catch up with you. No doubt, as I mentioned in the introduction, it has been a rollercoaster of emotions, both in your personal life and on the track.
Yeah, no, it's been ups and downs, but most of it's been all enjoyable, and when you get to wake up every day and do what you love, that's the main thing, isn't it?
It all started with your dad, Ray.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a lot interested in it, obviously, early. Dad always had them, and being a farrier and everything, but so I just thought, I'll give it a go. When I was about 14, started spinning the wheels on a few and got the bug from there, and was made to work and do my trade first before I could do anything else. But I fell in love with them from there, and it's spanned to a career of it, so you can't ask much more.
Started out in Victoria, made the move to New South Wales.
Yeah, I'll always be a Victorian about me. Love the place, I miss home. I do, but I love it here as well. I love the racing here. I really do like it in the Hunter Valley. It's been very good to me there over probably the last 10 years, obviously probably 15 because I was gone for 5 of it. But racing here is great. Fast horses are great, aren't they? So, it's just got to keep being better every day, and if we're better tomorrow, we'll be better to keep on going.
You get through one of the darkest periods of your life with the passing of your fiancée, Tiffany, and you had a 1-year-old child at the time, Miller, so that was an incredibly tough period.
Yeah, I was probably young enough to it hit me very hard, but I was probably young enough not to understand what I understand now on how it would reflect on my life. But I have a great support team through the people I'm around now and obviously back then. So you got to ride the emotions, and these guys out on the racetrack here, they always bring me peace.
No doubt, Lee, that would be the toughest test you will ever have to encounter in your life.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do it again, that's for sure. So it's just a matter of you reflect on the great things and you try to forget about the bad ones. So, Miller's one of the great things that come from it, which is the most beautiful part, and we move on.
Unfortunately, 2011, you had a serious fall at Ballarat and spent nearly a year on the sidelines.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It was a pretty simple fall, actually. One of my most simple. I just pulled out down the back and the horse stood a wheel, and it just went up, and then I went down and I shattered my kneecap, and they just wouldn't clear me. I just kept having operation after operation, and after 6 goes they got it right, and then I finally started driving again and wasn't getting the bulk of drives, so I got an opportunity to go to the Riverina with Leigh Sutton then, and I took with both hands and was there for about 8 months and had a good time.
2021, Lee, and everything started to turn around. You were associated with a horse called Like a Wildfighter, taking out the Charlton Pacing Cup and the Terrain Pacing Cup. The winner of Charlton Pacing Cup, you said, I hope I did the memory of Gavin Lang proud.
Yeah, it was just one of them races. I just couldn't pull the wrong rein. I just sat there. I didn't have a lot of options in the run, and Kate moved. And when I got to the top of the lane, he moved, and I was proud. Obviously Gavin was the last person to train that before Emma and Clayton, and when you even just get to put on the colours Emma's and Clayton's, you're on a real one. So, to get that opportunity, it was great.
Like so many, Lee, particularly in Victoria, Gavin Lang meant so much to you.
Gavin was good to me. Me and Nathan Jack probably mostly. We idolised the man, and he was good for advice and always looked after us. It was hard not to love, and he could make miracles out of nothing, and that's what made us love him so much.
March 2022, and continue this spiral upwards, thankfully for you, Lee. Your first driver's invitational. You said that meant so much to you.
Yeah, it sort of did. I drove in, obviously, when I was a kid, driving the Junior Driver Series and all that, and to get an invite to that, we were going really good at the time in Victoria. I was driving Metro winners like horses like a Wildfire, Sonny Weaver and Santa Casa Beach, and it just got me I was just in the right spot at the right time, and a few of the other drivers had Perth on at the same time, I think, so that sort of got me in, and obviously didn't go that great, but we had a good day anyway.
November 2022, and things really did go through the roof. Your first Group 1 win after 18 years in the sulky with Egret.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great to get the opportunity. Obviously, driving any horse for Anton and Pat Driscoll is an honour, and I was probably lucky because Nathan was their number 1 driver, and obviously the connection with Clayton Harmey at the time, and Ange, they own the other half of Egret, so I was probably in the right place at the right time again. So, you know, she was a great filly to me. I drove her in all the good races at 3 and a couple at 4. Nathan obviously was her number one driver, but for about a good 14 months he couldn't get on her because he had to drive the other stablemate, so it worked out great for me, and yeah, it was a day I'll never forget.
Lee, that's part of all the plans, to be in the right place at the right time, to take full advantage of situations that come your way.
Yeah, I've had some amazing opportunities, don't worry. I've driven Lochinvar Art, and I've driven, you know, Sunny Weavers and your Egrets and Cincinnati Kids back in the day, and, you know, Meanwhile Go for Golds, like Flaming Roadsters and Victoria Cups and Hunter Cups and Inter Dominions, and, you know, you take it for granted a lot. Now I don't. I've learnt more that you got to be working with the animal, and it's all hard work. Without the hard work, you get nowhere. And you know, now it probably consumes me a little bit too much, but you know, it keeps me safe and sane, I suppose.
Watching the replay of that win, Lee, and watching you and Egret go across the line, you were so emotional.
Yeah, I've never been my best. Well, what would you say? Probably, I've always been my own worst enemy. But to just finally do it, I've been so close, probably 10 times, and then finally got the inside run, and I actually beat them for fun. And I went, wow, that was easier than what I've ever thought it was going to be. So that probably I could let the emotion out. Sometimes you get so close and you don't know, and you're still holding in, but. You know, just to be able to let it all out, and I do carry on a little bit when it comes to things like that, but, you know, I had fun doing it.
You had a good excuse. Someone who's been very influential in your career, once again, both professionally and personally, Russell Jack.
Yeah, Rusty's like a second dad to me, obviously. You know, he's as hard on me as anybody has. Great trainer, great horseman, was a great driver back in the day, and, you know, all of them are like family to me, the Jacks, so, you know, I'm forever grateful for, obviously, Rusty, but the whole family.
Apart from Russell and Gavin, who we spoke about earlier, another person who was influential in your career, always there for a chat, Brian Gath.
Yeah, old granddaddy's been great to all of us. He's probably the hardest man I've ever driven against. He doesn't give an inch, but he can move you more than 5,000 inches in 2 strides, but you know, he's not past it yet. He's still out there doing what he does. But you know, when B was on, he was amazing, and he was always great for advice. He said to me as a young kid once, he goes, "There's 2 ways you're going to be remembered, young fella." He goes, "You can go and drive winners at Mildura, or you can go to the city and see if you're any good at it." And so, I'd like to think that I've been okay at it. But you know, I would have loved to have had his spreadsheet and record. Would be nice.
I think you've been more than just okay. Another gentleman who was influential during a down period of your life was Aaron Goadsby.
Yeah, he was. Like I pointed out before, I've never been probably been kind to myself. I've made a lot of mistakes in this 23 years of a career I've had, but I've had a lot of highs. And at the stage, I'd needed somebody to help me, and Aaron Goadsby was that man. And he's just been a great man to my life, and he's a great friend. He's still a mentor. Obviously, his brother is who we work for, and you know, through those relationships, we just keep building what we got. And like I said, if we make tomorrow better than what today was, we'll just keep on punching.
Yeah, you've got a very good association going with Godolphin, and also in particular Keith McDeed.
Yeah, old Macca, you know, we give him a hard time at the stables because he's the old stalwart, like by the old claimer, but, you know, he's been there and done it all too. You know, he's still training winners at his age, and he's driven lots of winners too, so he knows what it's all about, and he's just great to have around and great to work for.
Yeah, he's certainly been very successful over a long period of time, and he did walk away from the industry for nearly 10 years, but always loved the people, loved the harness racing industry itself.
Yeah, I think he walked away from it just for a break. I think he was always still about, and obviously go to the races, and he always follows it. He never misses a meeting. He always knows where you're going and what you're doing, and he probably most of the time before we do. So, you know, he's a great old fella, and he's just, you know, he's great to work for.
Well, it's been great to catch up and have a reflection on your career. We mentioned all the roller coaster of the emotions. Do you think you're now finally in a nice, happy place?
Yeah, no, we got there. It's only taken me until I was nearly 40 to work it out. But yeah, no, I'm happy, settled, have a beautiful family, and you know, that's all I can ask for.
Lee, we take a lifetime learning about ourselves and learning to live our lives. You're no exception to the rule.
No, that's right. One day I'll get it right, probably exactly, won't I?
Mate, you're in a very big group of people saying exactly the same thing. Good luck, and may it continue.
Thank you very much.